Today's episode is brought to you by RX Bar. For 25% off your first order, visit rxbar.com/convos and enter promo code CONVOS at checkout. And today's show is also brought to you by Care Of. For 25% off your first month of personalized Care Of vitamins, visit takecareof.com and enter promo code COFFEE.
Hey guys, welcome to Coffee Combos. Hi Lindsay, I haven't even showered since I got home from the gym. So I went to the gym and dove right into Coffee Combos.
Well, you said that you're a stinky person, so I'm glad that I'm in Atlanta and you're in Delaware.
Yep. Well, I got Botox in my armpits, so I don't stink anymore.
Well, that's good to know. I mean, I've never smelled you before, but, you know, stinky people do stinky things.
I'm eating my second meal, so if you hear me, that's what it is.
Is it Cheetos, by chance?
It's not Cheetos at all. But I need to know if you watched Teen Mom 2 last night.
I did. For the first time, I've watched live TV and it not being recorded on the DVR. I was able to catch it. And
what are your thoughts?
I was appalled, to be perfectly honest. There was so
Tell
much.
me why.
There was just like so much stuff going on in every storyline that I literally felt like I should probably go to the doctor and get anxiety medicine from what I saw.
It was a lot. Like, first of all, for Javi to be in Brianna's story and Brianna to be in Leah's story and Leah to, like, whose segment was whose, really?
I don't know. There was so much crossover that I was just like, bam, what is going on? And
it's a clusterfuck.
First off, okay, so we had conversations about Javi taking the boys to Disney and like the whole, you know, shebang about him taking Isaac and, you know, you talking to Joe about it and blah, blah, blah. But I didn't know that Leah was actually the one who told you that Brianna and Javi were going to like be meeting up and staying at the same place.
So let me clarify the whole thing. So basically, Javi came to me and was like, I want to take Lincoln to Disney. And it happened to be on my week. And so, like, if I'm going to let Lincoln go on my week, I kind of have to let Isaac go. And so I told Javi, I said, you know, you haven't really been there for Isaac lately. Like, why don't you consider taking Isaac too? So he agreed. He said he wanted to spend quality time. So I talked to Joe. Joe was fine with it. We allowed Isaac to miss, like, an entire week of school for it. And then, you know, Javi said it was quality time with the boys. So I said, perfect. Then I found out on Snapchat, because someone sent it to me, that Javi's current girlfriend, Lauren, was going to Disney. So
I remember you telling me that.
Yeah, and it was like a huge red flag for me because Javi and I agreed to do 6 months, you know, after the whole Chris thing and then the Lauren thing, and Javi introduced like 4 girls to Lincoln already. So we agreed to 6 months. You're not introducing anybody to Lincoln. I'll do the same. And so then I find out after like less than 2 months, Lauren's going. So then they break up and now she's not going. And now I find out from Leah that Brianna is going. And it's just like, either way, it should have only been a boys' trip because that's what was told to Joe and myself. So I was already annoyed. And then I just feel like the dishonesty through the whole thing, like, if the kids weren't there, it's not really my business, but the kids were there and it just was completely unnecessary.
So I saw on Twitter, obviously, like, you have your fans. I think I follow Leah and Chelsea on Twitter too. Mm-hmm. And obviously, like, you all have your own kind of fan base and then there's like some crossover, whatever. And Brianna now has her fans and, you know, people were saying, well, why would you care? Like, it's not really your business about his relationship. And like, obviously you're salty. I didn't take it that way at all. I took it more so as, hey, my kids are involved. So that's when I intervene.
Right. And well, and if you're under the impression that it's a boys' trip, then it should be a boys' trip.
Well, and plus, like, you don't lie or omit from the truth to the mother of the kids. Like, that's just not.
I was appalled Okay, first of all, let's get one thing clear. I do curse in front of my kids. However, that being said, my kids know not to say those curse words. The fact that Javi sat there at the restaurant and not only had to say their mother when referring to me in front of my kids, but the way that Roxanne and Brianna are, like, the way that, I'm pretty sure Roxanne was the only one that cursed, but regardless, like, don't talk about me in front of my kids, because Isaac is old enough to understand what their mother, his mother, he knows what's being said. So if you have to say their mother in front of my kids, don't have that conversation in front of my children.
Well, I don't remember what was it that she said, because I do remember they were like at a dinner or something like that.
Yeah, they were just talking about the reunion and, don't get involved with that. And that Javi was like, I'm just trying to live a drama-free life, blah, blah, blah. Well, you were the creator of this.
I mean, if you're trying to live a drama-free life, maybe the way to do it is there's like a ton of fish in the sea. Maybe you should go outside of the Teen Mom cast. That would have eliminated a ton of drama.
I mean, here's my thing. Then last night, Brianna was tweeting. First of all, she has me blocked, so I couldn't see anything. So people were sending me the stuff that she was saying. Then she gets on Instagram Live and says stuff on there. She said that we don't work a 9 to 5, and because she hardly sees me, she doesn't owe anything to me. Okay, maybe not. But we have to sit on the couch together at reunions. We have to be around each other. Like, it's not that she owed me anything. It's just that I'm not going to go into like Javi's job, and I'm not going to go mess with somebody who he is at work events with. Like, I'm just not going to do that. So I don't know. I guess for me, I'm just not, I have some level of respect.
Well, and how long did that relationship last? And why did it blow up? A couple
months.
Do we know like what the blow up was or why they ended up?
I mean, I do, but I think I should let it just play out on it. I think I should just let it play out. Like, I don't think I should exactly say it on this podcast.
Oh, like it's going to play out on Teen Mom.
I think so, yeah.
Okay, well, fair enough. Fair enough.
Let's take a second to talk about my favorite skincare routine, which is BioClarity. You guys have heard me talk about it, and it's so simple. It's a 3-step wash that's helped soothe and nourish my skin. I get super bad breakouts, especially around like my chin and jawline, and I don't know, this really works for me. I know a lot of people have tried it and are seeing results, so I just think that good skin makes such a difference in your confidence and how you feel about yourself. So BioClarity helps treat acne, blemishes, and it's a 3-step program. Thanks to their natural ingredients like Floralux, it is soothing and not abrasive, so it doesn't cause any irritation. Those soothing ingredients really help your skin glow.
BioClarity is just a great addition to your skincare routine. And even if you don't have problem skin, because now they have a clear skin routine that helps you keep your skin healthy and hydrated. And it has all kinds of vitamins in it to boost your natural beauty. So start a healthy habit and get glowing, clear skin. And they are offering our listeners a really great deal. If you go to bioclarity.com and use code COFFEE, you'll get your first month for $9.95 plus free shipping, which is a $20 savings.
It's great because it's a risk-free money-back guarantee. It's a great thing to try because if you're like me, you'll be happy when your skin starts to look like you've wanted it to the whole time. And it's bioclarity.com. The code is COFFEE. So get you some BioClarity. Let's get back to the show.
Why did you wait to name Lux like 90 days?
I waited 45 days, okay? Because Chris and I couldn't agree on a name. And then at one point I put a bunch of names in a bag and took it to the hospital, and I had a nurse pick. And she actually picked the only name that Chris and I agreed on. And for a little while we agreed on Christian. And then I thought, okay, well, since he doesn't want a junior, maybe we'll continue it with Christopher and Christian. And then Chris was on board, and then he wasn't. And then we both agreed to Lux, and then we didn't talk anymore. And so it said, fuck it. And I filed Lux.
Well, so I thought it was really cute that Lincoln was like, no, I don't like that name. I like Baby Low. I thought that was so cute. And
yeah, he wasn't having Lux at all.
At all. And then I just thought it was kind of funny because I couldn't relate to that at all. Because I remember whenever I got pregnant, obviously I live in the South, so monograms are huge here. And I had everything already monogrammed with his name on it before like when I found out he was a boy, I already knew, if it's going to be a boy, this is going to be the name. And if it's going to be a girl, then this is going to be the name. So my mind was already made up. Yeah. Did you just like want to look at him to see like if he looked like a Lux or like...
Well, I didn't know if it was a boy or a girl. That was one. And I have my girl name that I will never tell until one day, hopefully I have a girl. But so I had a girl name picked out. I just we didn't have a boy name at all.
Oh my gosh. Well, I'm glad that he's finally named. And
thanks.
All of that. So I can't wait. Actually, the podcast will kind of like some behind the scenes stuff will play out at some point on Teen Mom. So if you guys are watching, then you can see some behind the scenes stuff. So that's exciting. Can I tell you though, on a completely unrelated note, how excited I am that baseball is over for the season?
Oh, thank God. I bet you're probably thrilled.
I'm thrilled. First of all, we get to the field yesterday and we have 7 players show up out of 11.
Oh, good.
We're playing the best team in the league for our age group.
Solid.
And we just looked like the Bad News Bears. And it was just, I didn't even know what to say. We got, the league rules are if you score 6 runs in 1 inning, then whether there's 3 outs or not, it automatically turns over to the other team to be able to hit. So that happened like every inning. And they had like 14 or 17 points and we had 1 run. So that was pretty good. And
that's when you start recruiting the parents to play.
Exactly. I was like, I need to go and get a uni somewhere and like saddle up and get on the field. And I don't even know if I would know what to do. Like I can help in the dugout and whatever, but I don't even know what to do for baseball. But anyhow, I went and got cupcakes and juice boxes, and we had like little medals for them that were like personalized with their name on it and stuff to like hand out at the end. Of course, my child goes and crashes all of the cupcakes and they're like,
oh, good,
upside down. And I'm like, you know what? This just kind of goes along with the theme of our season, that we've just played upside down baseball all season. And, what other way to end it? And as Will was passing out the little medals, he got to Jackson and he was like, and this is for the hardest child that I have ever coached. And then he said like Jackson's name. And when I was taking Jackson to school this morning, he said, I just want to give this medal back and for my dad to say something nice about me because I don't think I'm a hard person to coach. And I'm like, well, you don't coach yourself and you are, son. I think it's just because we're so involved, and he is dealing with his parents versus, like the other kids seem to mind us.
Coach, right.
Because we're not their parents, so
yeah. Mm-hmm.
He's just like all over the place. And now he's like finally learning to like chew gum and walk at the same time, so... That's
so funny. Is Jackson glad it's over?
Yes, he's so glad. And it's crazy because Will played college baseball. And so Will has like 0 tolerance for Jackson not wanting to play. He's like, he's going to play. And I have a completely different approach. I'm like, you know what? If you have to force him to play and it's miserable every time he comes, then there is no point in this. Because if he's not having fun, we're not having fun. This is a big old waste of time. Like this is some type of charade that I'm not interested in. And
right.
So Jackson really wants to play soccer. So the next organized sport we'll play will be soccer in the fall. So we're pretty excited.
That'll be good. I feel like kids have a good time with soccer, even if it's not something that they do long term. Like I feel like every kid tries soccer and has a good time with it.
Well, and I just think too, Jackson needs to be moving all the time. And there's a lot of downtime with baseball. Like with the batting lineup, and like once you've batted and you're, you know, X on the list, and then you've got to, you know, 10 people have to bat, and then there's just like a lot of downtime and a lot of, you know, waiting around. And I think that he just gets bored with it. So
yeah, that we kind of talked about it before. That's kind of like where Isaac was. Like, Isaac's so good at baseball, but he's like, it's boring. And I'm like, I know, bud, but I think as you get older, it'll get more fun. But I ended up pulling him this season because Isaac had a jiu-jitsu tournament on Saturday, which he got his butt handed to him, but it was a good lesson and he learned what not to do. So jiu-jitsu is good and it's all year round. So it's kind of like as we have time for it, you know, like if something comes up and we don't go to a practice, it's okay.
It's okay, right? It's more of like an individual sport that you don't have like a teammate like counting on you.
Right. Okay, guys, let's take a quick second so I can tell you about the absolute easiest way to keep your health on track with no serious effort. Care of is a monthly subscription vitamin service made from effective quality ingredients tailored to your needs. Lindsay has talked about it a lot, and the service is great, and I'm so excited to try it. I just found out that 90% of people fall short of FDA-recommended guidelines for at least one vitamin or nutrient, because even when you try to maintain a healthy diet, it can be hard to get all the nutrients your body needs for long-term health.
Yeah, vitamins are something that I see as super important to me, trying to keep me and my family healthy. And Kira fills those gaps missing from our diets, or especially for me, getting that extra boost when I feel like I need it. Care of has a fun online quiz that makes it easy to determine what vitamins and supplements that you guys might need. It's a short quiz that asks you about your diet, your health goals, lifestyle, and uses answers to create personalized vitamin packs just for you. It takes only a few minutes to get your personalized recommendations. Your subscription box includes individually wrapped packets with your vitamins and supplements for easy grab and go. And if 2 people are ordering them, they also have your name on it, so it makes sure that you can't get it mixed up. You'll receive a 30-day supply shipped right to your door. It really saves me from having to make extra trips to the store, and I can totally avoid impulse buying and having tons of bottles at home.
You can modify your subscription at any time, and the best part is that it costs about 20% less compared to similar brands at local drug and health food stores. So for 25% off your first month of personalized Care of vitamins, visit takecareof.com and enter promo code COFFEE. For 25% off your first month of personalized Care of vitamins, visit takecareof.com and enter promo code COFFEE. So let's get back to the show.
I do have another question. Yeah, I mean, the good thing about soccer, I don't know how it's ran there, but here they do like soccer Saturday, and it's just you go, you have an hour practice, and then you have an hour game. So it's literally like practice game all on Saturday, one after the next, and then it's over for the week, and then you don't do it again until Saturday. So I think that'll be nice just to be able to feel out like, hey, is this going to be something that he's interested in doing or not? And I think, I mean, he loves to go and like kick the soccer ball at the park, and like he'll run for hours and be perfectly fine, but you get him on the baseball field and he wants nothing to do with it.
Right, like just loses all interest.
Yeah, no interest. So anyhow, I'm glad it's over. It's like all commitments are coming to an end as far as like sports, school, and we have actually planned a beach trip. So I'm going to go to the beach from Mother's Day until Wednesday and then come back to Atlanta.
That'll be nice.
Yeah, it'll just be like a little nice getaway. I just like squeezed it in like last minute. It'll be a little nice getaway before I come to New York. So I'm getting excited.
I'm excited for New York. At first, I was like, this isn't going to be good, but I'm excited because you're coming. We're going to podcast with Chelsea, and we'll get to see you, Leah. It's just going to be a good time. I'm not going to let any bad energy like take over that weekend. So, and I think we're podcasting with Chelsea first, so that'll be good.
That'll be good. It'll be a good like little start off to the weekend, I feel like.
I think we should probably podcast immediately after though too, so we have like full on
reaction.
Right.
Yes, because everybody will still be, I'm not going to say heated, but most likely that would be the proper term to use.
Yeah, I think that's probably a good word to use for it. Also, I'm going to bring someone with me to the reunion. So we can talk about that too once you see who it is.
Who are you bringing with you?
I'm not going to tell you right now. I'm going to wait until we get there.
Why can't you tell me? Like, why is this a secret?
Because I want to podcast about your immediate reaction.
Of this person?
Yes.
Have we talked about this person before? Do I know this person?
Yes. Yes, you know this person. Well, you know of this person.
Well, if it's Chris. Speaking of Chris.
Go ahead. Speaking of Chris.
Speaking of, did he listen to the podcast where I said that I was being a little bit dramatic in the podcast description about him begging to come on Coffee Combos?
I don't know if he listened to that one, but we did talk about it briefly yesterday because he said that he questioned my level of honesty. We got into an argument maybe 3 weeks. I said it was 2 weeks ago. He said it was a month ago, but I don't really talk to him very often. So 2 weeks ago probably was a month ago. I'm not sure. So I said, I'm questioning your level of honesty right now because you wanted to come on the podcast and you still haven't done it. So I'm just wondering when that's going to happen. So I just feel like, I don't know. What are we going to do about this?
Well, so he's just going to come on the podcast and that's just going to be what it is. So, Chris, if you're listening, saddle up.
Saddle up.
We're waiting. Speaking of,
I don't know. What if he comes on and literally just shocks everyone with what he says? Or what if he comes on and doesn't say shit?
Then we're going to tell him to get off. You don't.
Okay. We'll just kick him off.
You come on the podcast to talk. If you don't have anything to say, then, I'm not going to sit and look at you for an hour if that's what you think. You have to talk.
Right. Okay. So, Lindsay, you know what I've been totally obsessed with lately? I'm obsessed with RX bars.
They literally are my favorite on-the-go snack, too. And if you're like me and always running around, which I know you are, eating in your car, grabbing something as you run out the door, RX Bar is such a great, healthy solution to keep on hand, and they are so good.
I started keeping RX bars in my car for whenever I need a quick bite or, I forgot my food at home. And then when the kids get hungry, they ask for them. They love them. RX bars have 11 different flavors. And so there's one for everyone, even the picky eaters in the family. Lincoln's my picky eater, but he eats them.
My favorite is the peanut butter chocolate one. Their labels list their core ingredients: 3 egg whites, 2 dates, and 6 almonds with no BS, which is so true. It's just the good stuff. And you know that even though you're snacking on the go, it's still good for you. And they're giving you guys an awesome deal. For 25% off your first order, just go to rxbar.com/convos and enter promo code convos at checkout. That's rxbar.com/convos and promo code convos.
They're super good. Your kids will love them, and you definitely want to try them because it's a good deal. So anyway, let's get back to the show. I just question, Lindsay, this is totally off topic, but do you drink LaCroix?
So no, I don't. I drink by Bubbles, actually.
Okay. I love carbonated drinks like soda and stuff. And I've been at the gym every day, so I'm trying to cut out soda. And I have a LaCroix here and it's a struggle to finish it.
Why? Because you feel like it's bitter or something?
It's just so plain carbonated water. It's just kind of
You should try. You should try Bai Bubbles. It's good.
What is it called? Bai Bubbles?
Yeah. BAI Bubbles.
Does it taste good or does it just taste plain carbonated water?
No, it tastes good. It has a flavor. There's one that's Jamaican blood orange or something like that. It's really good. Since you're so obsessed with Jamaica, you should try that one.
Oh, yeah. I love Jamaica. My kids won't stop asking to go back.
Oh my gosh. Jackson keeps telling me that he's going to Jamaica and he keeps telling me that I was talking about it. And I'm sure he was eavesdropping on my conversations, being nosy. And he was like, I heard that we were going to Jamaica. And I'm like, well, I don't even know where that place is. So, no.
Last night when I was putting the kids to bed, they were like, where are you going? I said to podcast. They were like, well, when are you coming back? And I was like, literally, I'm going downstairs. So my kids they still don't believe I have a podcast. I love that Jackson he hears us talk on the podcast. He knows about the podcast. He's eavesdropping on the podcast.
Oh yeah, he's all about the podcast, like for sure. On a completely unrelated kid note, though, I was surfing on Instagram. It might have also been the Shade Room, which I'm always on, but I saw this article about Black China and how her value has plummeted at clubs across America, and it's because that basically her wagon became unhitched from the Kardashians. So,
I mean, she really finessed the shit out of a Kardashian.
Well,
like she knew she was going into that. She knew she was going to get pregnant and collect a child support check.
They
Queen
say that,
of finesse.
They say that that's what like athletes, that they get themselves in situations with these females that know the situation, know the money situation, and just like go into a situation getting pregnant. Like, how does that even work? Do they like take an ovulation predictor kit and be like, oh, I'm ovulating right now, got to get him locked down? Like, I don't even know how that works.
I would say yes. I think that is how it works.
That is so shady.
It is so shady. But I don't know. I'm just making an assumption based on what I've seen, which I also don't like when people do that about me. However, that seems to be what happened with Blac Chyna. And it doesn't surprise me that I read on the Shade Room also that her, like, just to get a nightclub appearance, she's basically going from 30,000 to 7,000.
That's correct. And that's
correct.
One of the promoters said that he wouldn't even give her more than $5,000 because China without Rob was like Sunny without Cher.
I read that. Oh,
and
I wonder she's with an 18-year-old. I mean, come on.
Well, and okay, so Will knows that I think Blac Chyna is pretty, and so he tells me like every news that he hears about Blac Chyna for whatever reason. So, you know, like I said, Will probably has a Finsta, and
he has to.
He told me that she met her 18-year-old rapper boyfriend on Christian Mingle, which I just don't believe it. Like, I don't believe that could be true.
First of all, I don't think that either one of them would be allowed to have a Christian Mingle profile.
I don't either. I don't know what the requirements are to be on Christian Mingle, but the fact that I looked this guy up and he's holding his crotch in every picture, I'm pretty sure that wouldn't meet the requirements for a Christian Mingle profile. But then again, I'm also profiling. So, you know, I don't know. I've never been on Christian Mingle. I've never been on like any of those sites. But speaking
I was just about to ask you that. I feel like, because people ask me if I'm on any dating sites, and I'm not. I've never been on any of them.
Well, I've never been on any dating websites. I was already like hitched to Will by the time we even knew about dating websites. I think I had like seen Farmers Only before we got married or something like that. But who goes on Farmers Only?
Chelsea said she was going to sign me up for that.
Oh my gosh. And I mean, you being with a farmer person, like, do you have to legitimately be a farmer to be on Farmers Only?
I mean, maybe some women just like farmers. Like, literally, if you ever came to my house, I live on farmland. My neighbors have farms. The Amish are right down the street, and it's just all farmland. There's corn, there's crops, there's chicken coops. It's just the whole nine.
Okay, so apparently I was reading this one article, though, about the Amish, since you said that. Why am I always reading articles? Like, I don't understand myself. But I was reading this article about Amish and about how they have all of these people fooled, and that they are the most incestual
I've heard, yeah,
group of people, and like the locals will know about it and stuff that like live around the Amish, but
yeah,
the general people just think that they're like really good people and they just like grow corn and stuff. Like, that's what I thought, you know, like, oh, they just grow corn and they do everything like very like natural and organic and whatever. But yeah, so
I mean,
so
they might grow organic food. I mean, they might grow organic food, but I've heard, and I literally live in Amish country, so like I've heard things that they are very incestuous, but I'm not friends with any, so I don't know.
That's just very odd to me. Like, I don't, I don't really understand that. But back to the dating thing, I also read this other article.
What?
On CNBC about Facebook and how they're like trying to spice up their whole platform and launch this new dating feature with.
I saw that. I only read Facebook to launch a dating site. Like I literally only read the headline. What is it? I don't get it. First of all, I'm not going to use it, but I'm just curious.
So apparently like it's going to be embedded into the app that we already all have. And basically it will just be like this dating feature, from my understanding, that will connect people through shared experiences like that are posted on Facebook. So yeah, I don't really know how it's going to work, but I already think Facebook is so creepy, and Facebook gives me anxiety when I go on it. Like it's like no other platform. Like I feel like there's so many ads. There's so many like stuff that comes up that just like you don't want to see on there. And that's why I don't really use the platform as much anymore. Like I use Instagram and Twitter and Snapchat. I don't really use, like I have Facebook and I use it, but not to like the extent that I use the other apps.
Right. I'm the same way. Like I just really don't get on Facebook the way I use the other apps, but people post so much information on Facebook that might actually work for some people, but also it's just like, maybe don't post so much on Facebook.
Well, yeah, I mean, I always think that. And that's like one reason why I just kind of got turned off of the app, was just the level that people would go on Facebook and be talking like intimate details about like their life and like their marriage and like all this kind of stuff that I just really didn't want to see. And I know that's not Facebook's fault, but I didn't have any interest in that, and I don't want to be involved in that. And if I'm going to something, I want to go to like enjoy the experience, like to look at other people's like happiness or whatever. Like I just feel like people spill so much like negativity on Facebook, and I don't understand that. And then so many people use it with that messenger thing. I hate that stupid messenger thing. Like people send the weirdest stuff over that. And I just deactivated like my messenger because I would get like hundreds of messages about people asking to like see my feet and like what kind of underwear
to see
I wore.
Your feet?
Like somebody,
no, you're lying.
I swear somebody like also sent a message. This was like a while ago, sent a message like if they could buy like a pair of my underwear.
Oh, I got a message like that on Instagram, actually.
And why would you want that? Like, that's just, so I don't want any part. And then to just add the dating feature, that's like a whole nother level. I think for married people or people in serious relationships, that's going to like deter them from the app altogether.
Facebook is just so messy.
It is so messy. So
I'm just not a Facebook person at all.
Yeah, not a fan. If you've previously listened to the show, you've heard us talk about FrameBridge, and you know how much Kale and I love their service. They make it super easy and affordable to custom frame your favorite things like art prints, posters, and of course the photos on your phone.
And the process is super easy on their site. This is how it works. You go to framebridge.com, you upload your photo from your computer or directly from your Instagram feed for them to basically print it out. Or if you have a physical item like ticket stubs, art prints, posters, you name it, you can send them in for free and they'll frame them for you. You preview the item in any frame, you choose or get the free recommendation, and then they'll frame it super fast. It only takes a couple days. It's affordable. Their prices start at $39 and all shipping is free.
I uploaded an adorable picture of Jackson. It was his little graduation picture in his cap and gown. And it was so sweet, and I can't wait to get it on my wall. It's great because all those pictures are just sitting on your phone, and you finally get to display them.
Right? I have so many pictures from our vacation in Jamaica, and I cannot wait to get them framed. You guys have to try this service. Plus, our listeners get 15% off their first order at framebridge.com when they use the code GETIT.
Get started framing your photos or art today. Go to framebridge.com and use promo code COFFEE. You'll save an additional 15% off your first order. Just go to framebridge.com, promo code COFFEE. Framebridge.com, promo code COFFEE. Let's get back to the show. So remember us having Mackenzie on the podcast like weeks ago?
Yes.
And she had told me that she reached out and was so sweet and was like, I don't want y'all to be upset. Like, I got this opportunity to do a podcast, but it's nothing like y'all's podcast. And it's not even like any of the types of things that y'all would talk about. It's like fitness related and like motivational and on. Remember all of that?
Yeah.
Okay. So for whatever reason, I asked Mackenzie about the opportunity, and ask her what network it's through and blah, blah. Because I just had like this really bad feeling. She was naming off these people that I had never heard of. And when we wanted to do a podcast, like I did my research before getting involved in this space. And I had never heard of anything like this. It just sounded like some type of scam, basically, is what it sounded like. And so she basically sent me a text and told me that I was right about the podcast and she should have listened. So I thought, oh my gosh, like the poor girl, she's like going through it. Her mom's cancer diagnosis actually was reported last week that it had spread to her bone. So going through that, and then, of course, to hear bad news about, a business venture that she's taken on. And she told me, I asked her what happened, and she said that they did everything that they promised, and they sent her like all the free supplies and stuff to run the podcast, paid her what they said that they would pay her. And then she started seeing like red flags, she said. And she said that everyone else on their podcast, like basically were dirty old men. And then there was a porn star that they just basically were raving about. And so she said that basically what happened was, I guess she prayed about it and God just told her, like, you need to get out of this. So this happened. She texted me this morning. She said last night was her night to podcast. And just a little background information on the podcast. It was never like her podcast. It was where they partnered up like all of these people that didn't know each other, and they kind of had segments within a podcast and then agreed to pay them a weekly fee. And it just sounded like a scam to me. So she said late last night was the night for her to run the show, and that they had deactivated all of their phone numbers and deactivated all of their social media. And she said she did some investigating and found out that the owner of this is a huge felon, and his criminal records had been posted everywhere. And he had been sued and completely shut down the company, like unannounced.
So that leaves her where? With no podcast and no payment?
Well, so she said that for the weeks that she podcasted that he actually did pay her, but that she just kept feeling like there was something going
was
on.
Wrong.
Yeah.
Right.
And so when she started investigating, she found out that he was a felon. And yeah,
well, that's really sad.
It's really sad. And I was like, she's just trying to do something good. You know what I mean? And then, cause hers was more about like fitness and,
motivational.
Just like motivational stuff, which is like super positive. And so, I felt like that was just so sad, but that made me think of like an experience that I had. And I don't think I've ever told you this, but like a year ago, I had this deal that had come through my agent for NASCAR. Okay. And it was like to appear at 2 events. And my agency did like some general searches on the company. I'm basically not allowed to go anywhere unless there's a deposit. And then they have to pay the balance within like 24 hours of me going somewhere. And so the deposit was delayed, but the guy kept saying that he was going to pay the deposit, pay the deposit, blah, blah, blah. He had paid the deposit, but my agent kept saying, no, he hasn't, because the type of banking that we have, it automatically alerts us if anything's even pending. And like, there's no pending wire whatsoever. So at this point, this guy had gotten like my personal contact information, because at this point I needed his contact information, because if I'm going somewhere, I need to know like, oh, okay, you're going to be my point of contact. You know, what do I
anything
need to
you needed?
Yeah.
Right.
Like, what do I need to prepare for, expect, like whatever. Mm-hmm. So he has been like communicating with me, whatever, just very like business communications. And then I had let him know, hey, I have heard from my agency and they have not received the deposit. And I want to let you know that I am not allowed to go anywhere without payment being paid in full. That it's just, you know, not in my best interest. Well, so I had planned to have a makeup artist come with me, and she was going to kind of be with me for the weekend and do hair and makeup and stuff, but also like a personal friend. So I thought, okay, well, this will be good. So he said that they were going to fly us private. And so my agency started asking for the tail number on the plane. And so a little backstory, this guy had asked me what the closest private landing strip was to where I lived. So when he sends the picture of the plane and the tail number didn't match up, and what he sent to the agency was not registered.
What?
Yes. So
what ended up happening?
Literally, I contact him and I'm like, hey, I just want to let you know that this transaction is not going to be able to happen. And I'm so sorry. Like, I tried to play, you know, like, I'm sorry that it didn't work out type, and wasn't trying to like ruffle any feathers or whatever, but blah, blah, blah. So he gets furious. So I tell him, I'm like, listen, I've asked you not, at this point I'd asked him not to contact me. I said, I've asked you not to contact me. I said, you know, you sent over information to my agency that does not even exist. And this causes major concern, and I don't believe anything that you say. So please just do not contact me again. I'm asking you nicely. So he continues to contact me. I don't respond.
No.
Like, I don't respond to any of it. But at this point, I'm kind of scared. So I don't block the number, because I want to know what he's saying, because I don't know what I'm dealing with at this point. Like, this man has been lying about so much stuff. And now he knows like the landing strip that's closest to where my house is. So that's also scary. And so a couple nights pass and I start getting these weird phone calls, and it was at the exact same time every night. It was like, let's just say like 11:11 or something. And then the next night it would be 11:11. Well, so the first night I was laying in the bed and I get this phone call, and all of a sudden it was like dead silent. And I said, hello, and dead silent. And then all of a sudden it was like women screaming. It sounded like women like that were held captive and like screaming, like trying to get away sound. And so I immediately just like hung up the phone. And so the next night we were down, Will and I were in the kitchen, and I get the phone call. Will answers the phone that night, and it's clown music. Like, it sounds like sinister.
Oh no, baby girl.
Like clown, like carnival type music that would be played in like a movie like It or something.
Fuck no.
So I'm thinking, okay, this is getting really bad. So I contact the police. So I start contacting like 3 officers that I'm personally friends with to give him like his information to see what was going on. And they told me that he was a felon and had 39 previous charges had stalking, stalking stuff like for this other woman, like a same situation as me, and that he had like restraining orders and all of this stuff. Had to contact the DA's office in Wilmington, North Carolina, where he lived, had to contact my DA's office because the police here wanted to press charges. Okay, so then a week later, I was away from my home. I tell my neighbors, like, hey, I'm not going to be home. If you could just like watch my house. If you see any like weird activity or whatever, please let me know. I get a message from my next door neighbor saying that the same car that one of my officer friends told me was registered to his name was sitting in front of my house, and my neighbor saw it, went outside and tried to like go up to the window. He saw exactly and described to me, like I hadn't even told him any of this information, described to me exactly the stature, the look of this man, and said that when he went up to the car window, the guy literally sped off like going 60 miles an hour in my neighborhood.
Oh, hell no. So what happened next?
So we just filed like a no contact order, and basically like he couldn't come within like 100 feet of me. And if he was caught, then I don't know what they would do, but they filed enough stuff that he's never contacted me again.
Well, thank God.
Yeah, but I was getting like emails from like random emails saying that, oh, your house, like it would be like late at night and it would be like, oh, your house looks nice with just your bedroom light on. And like weird stuff, like really weird stuff.
Was that true? Like, was it only your bedroom light?
Like, there was one night that I was home by myself, and I thought, you know what? I'm just gonna like have takeout. I'm gonna go upstairs. I'm gonna take a bath. I'm gonna turn my light, like I'm gonna turn my lamps on, and just like have like a really like laid back night. Watch a Lifetime movie. Go to sleep early. That next day, I woke up and checked my email and had that email on there. And the only way that you can see my bedroom light is if you're inside my fence of my yard.
I would literally have thrown up. I hope you have a security system now.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So nobody's getting in here. This place is like Fort Knox now. So.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Because I've had some crazy experiences too that I had to get full camera system inside and out. So I'm with you, and I think that definitely utilize that because fuck no.
Well, and I'm also like the police were, it's bad when the police are so spooked out by it that they put me on basically like a permanent route that they drive by
for,
here
like patrol
like 6 times a day.
Oh, good. That's good. Yeah, I've had really, really good luck with the police around my area too. I mean, I don't know if it's because they know I'm on TV or if it's just something that they do for everybody, but I've had really good, anytime I've called them, they've been here. So definitely don't be afraid to use their numbers because that's scary. And you don't know what people are capable of these days.
It's so scary. And like, I was also reading this one article too about like, you really just don't know about people. There was this one article about this woman at a beach that I go to in Florida, that they were down, she was down there for some type of like bike rally or something like that, and had a 5-year-old child with her, and had put on Facebook that she and her husband were divorcing before she went to this bike rally. She put it on Facebook, had put that they were divorcing. And then this other man had put that he was going down to the bike rally. So I guess her soon to be ex-husband was going to, or was like friends with both of them on Facebook and see, maybe something's going on there. So the ex-husband gets an inkling, goes down to this bike rally, finds out where they're staying at the Hampton Inn and Suites, and realizes that they're in a room together. So then he gets a gun.
No.
Because his last name is still the same as the wife, the front desk gives him a key to the room. He goes into the hotel room,
And what? Shoots both of them?
Locks them in. The child was not there. The child was picked up by the grandmother like hours before this. He goes into the hotel room, shoots her, shoots him, and then shoots himself.
No. Oh my God. Like, even people you aren't, like, you can't even be sure anymore. You can't be sure for strangers. You can't be sure with people that you're acquainted with or nothing. Like, you can't.
Like, none of this stuff to me is like normal, but it happens so often.
That's crazy. That's actually really sick.
Yeah, it's so sick. And I mean, to just think like the turn of events, all of that like stemmed from social media. She had posted that she was getting divorced. This other guy had posted that he was headed down to the bike rally that she was at. Maybe the soon-to-be ex-husband already had an inkling, so he was watching, the social media. And then just, I mean, I guess went down there with the intentions to catch them and to kill them.
That's crazy. Oh, well, hopefully the little boy is okay and in good hands now.
I know, but that's so sad too. Like a 5-year-old, I think Jackson's 5 years old. And to think like, how do you explain that to a child that does comprehend to an extent? Like, I know that you were just with your mom like 5 hours ago, but now like your dad killed her. I mean,
right.
That's just, I mean, it's so bizarre. And I had some like other stuff to talk about, but we don't really have time, so I can save it for next week's podcast. I'm excited to get to the beach, and so I will be podcasting actually from the beach for next week.
Oh, good. Well, I hope that if I don't talk to you before then, I hope you have a great Mother's Day. I hope everyone listening has a great Mother's Day. Do something sweet with your kids or for yourself, because I know there are some moms out there who would rather just have a day to themselves. So I hope you all have a great weekend, and thank you for listening. Lindsay, I'll catch up with you soon.
All right. Happy Mother's Day, and I hope you guys all have a good week. Bye.
This podcast is brought to you by Wave Podcast Network. Check out all of our shows, including the Brain Candy Podcast, I Don't Get It, Babes and Babies, Coffee Convos, and Let's Talk About It.